Hi, this is Daniel with TrustGraph, and today I'm going to talk about our changing philosophy of migrating away from static configurations in the configuration builder and moving to be able to fully configure the system during runtime. As you probably notice, as TrustGraph has become more and more robust, a lot more decisions became available in the configuration building. Maybe too many. Some people, when they first see the configuration builder, they're overwhelmed. Do I have to make all of these choices? Do all of these things matter? What should I choose? So we've decided to move much more of that ability and customization during runtime. So if we look at the configuration builder, the first page looks relatively the same. We still have our version, which the most recent version we're about to release is 1.2.15. We have our platforms, our data stores, and whatever model configuration we would like. However, one thing we're also changing is the ability to change the model during runtime as well. So look for that coming very, very, very soon. The big changes, though, you might notice is if we come here. Remember, there were a lot of options here before. Now, not so many. Now we just have the options for if you would like to add OCR pipelines to the system, or if you would like to change the way we're doing the embeddings models. Because again, we find fast embed and some of the smaller models do quite well for embeddings. But if you have something else in particular you'd like to use, just toggle this on, and as you'll see, we have a wealth of options available for embeddings models. And of course, we finish our deployments as usual. What does this look like now? If we go to the workbench, we'll see, well, it looks a little different. And of course, we always have dark mode or light mode. I prefer dark mode, but that's me. One change you might not have noticed is that now you can choose GraphRag, Agentic, or basic, LLM chat in the chat window. So we don't have to do, it's not just one, it's all three of those, and you can just toggle between them at any time. You'll notice things look a lot different over here. So look at the prompts. So all the system prompts, all the TrustGraph prompts in the system are available here. And we can choose this, we can edit this, we can choose a different kind of schema and specify it here, and you would just click submit. And at any time while TrustGraph is active, you can make these changes and it will happen automatically, instantaneously. Same thing with the agent React style prompt. If you're having problems with the agentic platform, you can make changes on the fly now, make different adjustments. No more having to specify the agent tools up front. We now have a much simpler way of doing that right here. You can just specify what type of tool it is. Of course, if you're specifying an MCP tool, you'll need to have that already specified. Speaking of that, you're probably thinking, well, where are the MCP tools? Well, we now have settings. Well, what happens if we go to settings? Whoa, there's a lot of things. API key, if you've ever had that, you've ever seen that pesky warning about API gateway, well, here it is, a way to set an API key for access to the TrustGraph API gateway. Ways to specify the subgraphs that are returned from a GraphRag request. They're quite large right now, but we can specify different sizes, whether we want to adjust how many entities, how many relationships. This is also the number of hops to make in the graph. So all that is now fully customizable while the system's running, so you can much, much better fine-tune the system without having to make lots and lots of changes. Now, as you can see right here, let me move myself over here so we can see all of these. A lot more, a lot more options. So what happens when we start clicking these on? You'll notice all of a sudden they start exploding over here on top of me. Oh no, I'm gonna have to move myself again. So move myself again. And we see there's agent tool, excuse me, MCP tools. Agent tools are right there. But when we specify MCP tools, they will go here, and then we'll be able to add agent tools utilizing those MCP services, and a lot of other things that are coming very soon. These taxonomies and schemas, you're probably thinking, why would we have those? Well, The number one request for TrustGraph for a long time has been, I like to be able to ingest my unstructured data, but what about my structured data? Well, here you go. The foundation for structured data ingest and management is in 1.2.15, and 1.3 is going to take it to the next level, along with a lot of things. Much more coming soon, and being able to fully manage the TrustGraph system during runtime.